Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's the house!
You know, that's just one step above stupid.
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
This guy may be like the dumbest person on the face of the earth. Did you hear what I said?
Huh?
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
Yeah, what's going on? I was just, in my part of the world, just waking up, and I saw on the news that they, in Pennsylvania, at a McDonald's, apparently there was this guy, this is according to Fox News, there was a person acting strangely in the McDonald's, and people kind of thought he looked, I guess obviously looked like the person, and when police got there, he had fake New Jersey ID, he had a gun that looked like the type of gun, and, you know, is there somebody out there that's faking? Oh, sorry, I mistyped that. I was typing so fast that I forgot to spell breaking correct. Yeah, sorry about that. Alright, it's fixed now. Yeah, it's not breaking, or however you would pronounce it. Brecking. It's breaking. Alright. Guess here, I have to go fix something. No. Why would I be in Pennsylvania? Somebody goes, "Are you in Pennsylvania investigating?" No, I'm not. I always think those are trolls, you know. Why would you even... Alright, there we go. Had to fix that. Alright, let's see what it says over here. Police in Pennsylvania are questioning a man on Monday in connection with the fatal shooting. Hey, welcome, Miss Marple. The fatal shooting of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, NBC News reported. The man was found with a gun that is similar to the one used to kill the 50-year-old Thompson by a masked gunman last Wednesday in New York. Anyway, here's one way to look at it. You know all those crazy people that were trying to look like him in the park? Maybe there's other people out there trying to be like him. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, that'd be pretty ludicrous. The unidentified man also was found in possession of a silencer and a fake New Jersey identification. I mean, so if there's somebody out there imitating him, like those lunatics were, then, wow, that's crazy. But doesn't that sound promising? That they found this guy actually has a fake New Jersey ID and a gun with a silencer. Doesn't that sound good? Now here's something I was thinking of doing in the middle of the night last night. Like right when I went to bed, I was in bed sleeping and I was thinking, why don't we check that Greyhound information differently? But maybe we can do that after this. So it says, police approached the man after receiving tips from customers at a McDonald's restaurant who believed he looked suspicious. New York police previously have said that a person of interest being sought for questioning in the case had stayed at a hostel in Manhattan before Thompson's shooting after checking in with a fake New Jersey ID. New York police are en route to Altoona, Pennsylvania, where is that the Altoona, Lake Altoona? Isn't that where I don't know, I think that was a different state. But, where the man is being questioned. The development in the case came on the same day that Thompson's funeral was set to take place in Minnesota. It is not known if the man being questioned in Altoona is the same person who has appeared in surveillance footage or footage of a person of interest in the killing previously released by the New York Police Department. Thompson's company, which is a division of UnitedHealth Group, is the largest private payer of health insurance benefits in the United States, and obviously the largest non-payer of health benefits. The CEO was on his way into an investor day meeting for UHG at the Hilton Hotel, Midtown Manhattan, early Wednesday morning when a gunman shot him from behind. The suspect then fled the area on a bike and pedaled into nearby Central Park. The NYPD had said the suspect was spotted exiting the park on foot about 20 blocks north of the shooting. Yeah, we already know all that stuff. All right, so let me try something here. This is what I was thinking of last night when I was just laying in bed. So we could go, we don't need to do, we just say New York, and we can, now we can just type in Pennsylvania. Now there's a lot of different. Yeah, see, there you go. No, that's not the one. Midtown. Needs to be the one on the GW Bridge. So I was thinking of doing a reverse. You know how yesterday we had those different cities? And what if we did like from New York to those cities and then see which one left between, let's say, 7 and 8:30 in the morning, something like that, from that bus station. And we got one new member. See if we can get some new members. And also, if you want to help support the channel, that'd be great. We're just doing another show early today. Yeah, do the coffee. Get me a coffee over there on the left, something. That'd be great. Let's see. Let me try another Pennsylvania. PA. Okay, there's a whole bunch of different PAs here. What if we did Wenatchee? Nope. Philadelphia. Now it doesn't go back to where it had those other choices. Don't know. That's crazy. Let me see if we can find more. Yeah, I know he was found in Altoona. That's not what I was looking at. I mean, I don't think it has a direct. Maybe it does. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it does. I wasn't going to try that one. I wasn't thinking he'd take a... Oh, look at that. Although that's later. It does go from that one, but it's 8 p.m. So, you know, he wasn't sitting there. It's only it's a 16-hour drive, but it starts at New York GW Bridge. But you know, he got there at 7:30 in the morning. So it had 2 transfers also, that one did. But it does take off from the New York GW Bridge there. I guess it's anywhere. I just need anywhere in Pennsylvania, but maybe he went somewhere else, then back to Pennsylvania. But is he still going to be really walking around wearing, just sort of looks the same? Hey, Paulette Leonard, how's it going? And Allie Cake and Linda Howell. Got awesome moderators in here. Looks like we got 3 of them. What do you mean troll alert? I can't see anything. McDonald's, that would... Yeah, I don't think this guy is a killer because he's trying to get payback, in my opinion. I'm not sure what he is. That's the thing. This guy it's weird. So he just took a New Jersey Transit bus? What do you mean? Just a regular, like a city bus or something? Or what? What do you mean? What's a transit bus? What organization has the transit bus? He did what? He did. Why don't you type in a full sentence so we can understand what you're talking about? Okay, so Greensburg. And that's that same 8 p.m. And what was the other one? The other one was Johnstown. Yeah, nobody knows what you're talking about. Tree root. He did. He's probably mentally unstable genius. Nobody even knows what you're talking about when you said he did. Why did you get rid of that person, man? Troll Central. All right, this one is 8 p.m. Right. I know. See, here's what it seems like it could be: is somebody that now thinks he's a hero and wanted to have all the same stuff. That's why I switched it to possibly. Suspect possibly caught. Hey, thank you so much up there to Ashley Camper, McDonald's. I'm kind of bummed. McDonald's? I'm kind of bummed. There you go. And Julie gifted a membership to Marcella H. Yeah, so if they're still looking in the lake, I don't know. What do you guys think of this person? On Fox News, it sounded like they were really kind of certain it was him. But you never know. Maybe they're just trying to get ahead of it. But if they're looking in the lake, maybe they're still looking for other items. But you'd think that's where they would think the gun was put. Because why would you get on a bus and travel around with, if you're questioned at a bus stop and they say, well, hey, look at this, then they'd already know that, okay, there's a guy with a silencer that got on this bus. Yeah, it's possible it's not him, because he had all these wackos yesterday trying to dress like him. Maybe there were some that wanted to be like him, We're all psycho CEO killer. He's an enigma, in my opinion. What do you mean, in your opinion? I don't know what that means. I mean, he's an enigma, in my opinion. Well, what else would he be? The gun was manually fed. It was just a normal semi. No point in keeping it. Okay, alright. I think he's probably ditched the gun in the lake, but not sure. Right, but I mean, they're saying they found a silencer on the person that on the person in Pennsylvania. Anyway, let's go look and see what we can. What I was going to do was go back when I was sleeping last night, would be to check, these places. Like what on this one right here, was he going back to these spots on a bus? But Pennsylvania is up here. I guess he could have gone to this Maryland one and then drove back up. Let's see, what is the... Because let's say he was here when he got on that bus in Maryland to throw people off, and he had a car parked here. Then he gets out and drives back up into... so where's Altoona? It's way over there, huh? How many miles is that? That's 123, not too bad. Let's just try that real quick. Because it seems like he'd want to go back to one of the spots that he got on the bus at. Doesn't it? There's the 8 p.m. Man, if that just said 8 a.m., it would be perfect. So what was the idea about the transit buses? Chat's going by. I can't see everything really fast. So what is the... what are you referring to? What bus line or what? How could we check that, I guess? Is Trailways a bus or what is that? Because it said it was a Greyhound bus station, not a Trailways. Oh wow, that was it. Hold on. Yeah. Those are, again, 8 p.m. in the evening, 10 p.m., so that can't be the one. And that's the George Washington Bridge right there, see? Crazy. He's not a danger in the general public. Yeah, to the general public. Right, I mean, I think if anybody who's in danger, it'd be other heads of something. Right, so what if he took a bus to the other New York City bus station? I guess he could have got on a bus there, right? Let's see. So he goes to this bus station right here. And what if he takes a bus to this station where he arrived on an inner city bus, and then he actually goes from the Port Authority. Let's try that again. Let's see what happens then. And that's it. It's still like 10:50 at night, so that doesn't work. Doesn't mean shit. No proof it was him. That's not actual proof. Who are you talking about? Yeah, we're just saying that it's possibly the guy, right? Oh, I'm also, thank you up there to Little Dumbass Boy. Come on. Listen, I didn't call him that, everybody. I know that I get a bad rap, okay? But I did not call that person Little Dumbass Boy. That was actually the name they put on YouTube. It says, I'm in Pittsburgh, PA. Should I lock my doors? I think you're okay, but come on. Can you guys help me out, man? Now the trolls are going to go, look what Gray called somebody. He called him a little dumbass boy, that bastard. Right, well, I didn't. That's just their name, for God's sakes. I don't think he presented his ID at McDonald's, y'all. Yeah, right. I think they looked at him and went, wow, that guy looks like that guy. And he probably still had his stupid face mask on, you know? Because that's what he's doing. Hey, thanks to Barb from MT. Thank you. Man, you guys, give me a break. Also, thank you to the real Sky Lizantana. The real, that was a hard one to do too. Sky, I don't know. It's a hard one. All right, let me just look him up on Google right now and see if we can get another update. I'd really like to know what bus he took from that station, though. I mean, he literally could have taken any bus that went anywhere and then went somewhere else after that. But I had woken up thinking I'm going to check all those other those places that he came from, right? Because if he is in Pennsylvania, what is he doing there when I guess, even he'd have to take that Maryland bus, got on it there at some point, but then he could have just been doing it all, took a plane to Texas, drove up, got dropped off in Georgia, then drove up as if he, went on a bus as if he came on the bus all the way from Atlanta, but it had never had any connection to Atlanta at all. He was just throwing people off. Well, it's right here, yeah. It just happened like 30 minutes ago. Like, here's New York Post. It says, person of interest in fatal shooting of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson caught with manifesto, oh, Jesus, gun and fake ID at McDonald's. Okay, so look at, let's listen to, this is Fox News. So.
quickly these things are going to move. All morning I've been in Central Park as these dive teams have been doing everything they can to find what I was told was the weapon because they couldn't track it down. Now investigators and NYPD police sources here is telling Fox News that they believe they found a man who matches that same description of the gunman who killed that CEO in Midtown Manhattan. They found him at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Okay, that's like a 5-hour drive from where we are right now. We knew that the person of interest had possibly hopped on a bus and fled town. Now we're being told they believe they have that person of interest in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
That sounds pretty.
So we kind of talked about this earlier when I checked in with you. Person of interest, suspect, they're keeping it at person of interest right now, and they're just saying he matches the description. But not only does he match the description for people watching at home, he also, according to investigative sources who are telling Fox.
There's people upset right now that he got caught. I wanted him to be free. I like it when killers go free. You guys are sick. Right?
News he had the weapon they believe was used in this murder in his
thanks,
pocket.
Susie Clue.
So this is what happens, I'm told, from police, and it's still developing. But this person's at this McDonald's in Altoona. We've been putting these pictures out all across the country because it's been a nationwide manhunt. So they've been asking people, do you recognize this man in the photo? We want to talk to him. We think he was linked to this ongoing investigation. Well, somebody, Harris, said that McDonald's in Pennsylvania recognized him, called it into local police, and here we are right now. So if this ends up panning out and they are going to
now, he won't be celebrated in prison, and he won't be well paid.
In this guy in Pennsylvania, we could have a huge break in this case.
He looks like he'll be somebody's girl in prison.
This comes as that CEO's having a private funeral right now
Thanks,
in
Jamie.
Minneapolis area where he was from. He was just in town for business where he was gunned down. Back out here live, you know, the question is, what's the motive at this time?
There you go. A person of interest was... Wow, what's that? Wow, that's crazy. Want to watch that for a second? Just to...
Ma'am, stand back if you're in there. Ma'am, are you there? Ma'am, are you there? Try to grab her arm.
Wow.
Give me your arm.
Okay, guys.
No, you're not. Ma'am,
Holy shit.
Count of 3. You're all right. 1, 2, 3. There you go. There you go. There you go. You're okay. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Oh, wow, she must have went into the basement.
I need. You're good. You're good. Push, Lynn. All right. 2. Come on. You're good. There you go. You're good. All right, keep her out. Go. There. Get out.
Holy shit.
Get my dog!
We're good. We're good.
Get my dog! She's in there!
Oh, God, the dog's in
Stay
there?
here.
Ah, jeez, that's brutal. Wow. And I had nothing to do with that, but a person of interest was nabbed Monday in the fatal shooting of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, busted possibly trying to use a fake ID in a McDonald's, law enforcement sources said. The man, who sources said is being eyed for the... Maybe he was going on to his next victim. Cold-blooded execution of in front of a Manhattan hotel. So cold-blooded targeted execution in front of a Manhattan hotel last week. Allegedly had a manifesto. Remember, we were actually wondering if there was a manifesto on his phone maybe, or even in the backpack when he was taken into custody by cops. See, a manifesto. That's what psychos create. Okay, this isn't somebody whose mother died from the insurance company. This guy is, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but for me, this guy is different. But, he was so calm when he shot Brian Thompson. Seemed like he was just absolutely at peace doing it. And usually if you're upset about like a family member being killed, you'd have anger, run up to him and go, "Hey, you killed my something like that." He just went, looked like he was walking a dog. I mean, it was nothing to this guy. Hey, thank you. It's Amy Darcy Marie. If this is him, I'm honestly shocked at his lack of smarts. I know, he seemed like a genius, but then all of a sudden you're at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania. You know what he should have done was taken off his hat and everything. Just walked around with his hair, and maybe he should have just smiled at all those girls out there that thought he was so cute and sexy, with the dimples and everything. Oh, God. If he could just ask me out on a date, please. Hey, thanks, Marie Pintler. He is a cold killer. Exactly. This isn't somebody you want walking around on the streets. The man whose sources said he's being eyed for the cold-blooded targeted execution in front of a Manhattan hotel last week. Oh, you want the comment? Okay. Whose sources said is being eyed for the cold-blooded targeted execution in front of a Manhattan hotel last week. He also had a gun silencer so this person that they've caught had a gun silencer, 4 fake IDs, and other items consistent with what authorities were looking for in the case, sources said. Law enforcement was still trying to figure out the man's real identity, sources said. He was nabbed on a tip called into local cops. So this is just people, and that's why it's so important a lot of times to get out pictures of people and let everybody know what's going on. He was nabbed on a tip called into local cops who apprehended him. The NYPD was on its way to Altoona late Monday morning, sources said. The bus came amid a massive manhunt for the masked shooter who lay in wait outside the Hilton on 6th Avenue, where Thompson, 50, was set to speak at an investor conference Wednesday morning. So we had about 1,200 people a minute ago, and as soon as I said there's people out there that they're really bummed that they go, oh, I'm leaving now. See, you guys are sick people, all right? This guy is a killer. Brian Thompson, whether you like what he's doing or not, somebody has to be the CEO of that company, right? So his job is to make as much money as possible for that company because it's publicly traded. Now, us as a society, we might start thinking about, wow, maybe insurance companies should be non-profit, where the maximum amount of money each year is used for the health care of people. Wouldn't that be better? But that's what his job is. They're all like every single company in the world that's on publicly traded. The CEOs try to make money. Okay? And so the thing is this guy just goes up and blows this guy away. Now, why he blew him away, we don't know. It could be for another reason not associated with that, but it appears it's related to the healthcare industry based on the notes on the shells, right? They ain't found Jack. My boy's got to be safe and free, right, Toby? He's got to be out there somewhere. I just need him to be. Call me. Let's see. The trial will be wild. Now, I think that there's a good chance they got the right guy here. However, given all the nut jobs that are out there, there's a lot of people who were imitating him. So who knows, man? Maybe there's a guy out there that, whoa, wow, I'm going to make a whole bunch of New Jersey fake IDs too. I'm going to get a silencer. I'm going to run around. And God, this is going to be fun. Wonder if the fake ID matches up. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be interesting if one of the names on... That's how you'll know they have the right guy. If the name on the... Doesn't everybody agree with this? If the name on the fake ID that he used at the hostel matches one of the IDs that he has, they've got the right guy, because that information was not put out there. Okay? Or it's at least somebody associated with him. Okay? That's it. That is the answer. Ashley Camper said, I was picturing him being caught in Vegas gambling away his retirement at the high roller poker table, drinking Louis XIII with 3 beautiful escorts cheering him on. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, that's right. And then Rad Story, good mid-morning, Greg. Good morning to you. This is really early for me over here. Right, well, who knows if it's just a similar type of gun. They don't know exactly what type of gun he was using. That video is not clear enough to be able to tell you exactly what he was using. I don't believe anyways. The chilling, efficient gunman snuck up behind Thompson on the sidewalk, pulled out what appeared to be a handgun with a silencer, and calmly unloaded multiple shots. All right, so here's the thing. We've got, now we know the whole timeline. So let me get rid of these again off the screen. Off the 24th, thank you also to Happy Genie for the coffee, and also Susie Clue. So on the 24th, he arrives at the bus station at late at night at 10:11. Now I remember a few days ago, somebody said that he then went and surveilled the area here first, then went, and that kind of makes sense, then went to his hostel. He was there on the 24th. I guess maybe that was the 25th he checked into the hostel. If that was the 24th that he got to New York. So 5:30 a.m. Let's see. So then he goes to the hostel late at night. And he checked out. He was automatically checked out on the 29th. And then he checked back in on the 30th. And he had roommates there. And that's where we have the famous picture of him smiling. This is like a composite of this is one of my thumbnails, but you can see, like, that's the composite using the eyes from the cab that I put on top of this picture. And then these are the pictures that he took because he was flirting, right? So that was him inside the hostel, probably when he checked in. And then on the 4th, he leaves the hostel at 5:30 in the morning. They believe he was on a bike because he makes it all the way to here by 5:11. 5:41, excuse me. So it's 5:41. He makes it into this area, and he's walking back and forth, back and forth. See, 5:41, he's spotted right there, and he's walking back and forth. Then he goes to a Starbucks at 6:17. He must have realized that he wasn't going to be coming out at that time. And, it's interesting because at 6:29, he's walking right here. So here's the hotel that Brian was staying in, Brian Thompson. But at 6:29, the killer is walking like this. He's walking this direction. Okay? And he's seen right there on this camera. There's a camera somewhere, I didn't really look to see where that one was. Let's see. I'd imagine it's just off to the upper right. Somewhere out there. Somewhere up on this building. Could be right there. Yeah. Could also be on the side or somewhere up on the side of this building. Maybe right up in there. It's filming him walking by. He walks right over this paint right here. He goes this direction. So he's heading this way. And then he walks down like this. And then he sort of waits right across the street over in this way. That's where the alley is that goes across. However, I think that when he got there, he left the bike, the e-bike, right inside this alley right here. He left it there. And I believe that because there's footage of him at 6:44, and the bike is going around this corner here. It's not like he was over here and going that way, or he drove like this and around that corner. That means he probably had it parked right in here early on. I bet you, even when he went to Starbucks, he had that e-bike sitting right in here. And so then at 6:29, he's walking by here, and he waits for probably 12 or 13 minutes right there. And then He's waiting for a guy. I mean, isn't it amazing, like, how bright blue the jacket was on that Thompson had? So maybe somebody said, okay, he's coming down now. He's coming down. He's coming down in a minute. I saw him getting ready, etc., etc. So now he's laying in wait, and then he goes across the street, and then he walks this direction, and then just as he's going underneath this awning right here, the killer comes from behind and shoots him, and he lands, he gets shot in the leg, and then he turns around, and he gets shot in the chest, falls on the ground. He's right next to this paint that's on the ground right there. It's like an old, just dried up maybe paint or cement sealant or something. He was just laying right there. And isn't it weird that this guy in the one picture here has a really light blue, kind of a blue jacket, but Brian's, Thompson's was much lighter than that. All right, so then after that, I was thinking of making a video of this whole thing here. So after that, the killer who was standing there goes over, shoots, and then after shooting him, goes across here, gets on the bike in that area. Hold on. Gets on the bike in that area, then goes around the corner here, and then goes around this corner, and then drives into the park at 648, and then drives around. And based on one of our callers last night, they found the backpack right here on these steps, right next to these steps in here in the park. And then I think he probably pulled out like this, and they checked this lake because the route drives by there. And then he comes out right here at 656. They have him on camera coming out there, and he rides his bike up this direction, and then takes a left on, I think it's, was it 85th? I gotta turn on the roads again. Yeah, 85th. Like this, and then he loses his bike at this point. Then he walks up here, and he's at this corner at 7 a.m. Then he takes a left, comes down here, and hails a cab at 7:04 at that location. So it looks like that. Then takes that cab all the way up to the Port Authority Greyhound bus station right here, where he goes in, but we don't know where he went after that. But now they have arrested somebody in Pennsylvania that apparently matches, we don't know if they think he matches the look quite yet, but, that Fox News article really sounded like they seem like they're on the right person. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, don't forget, inside the backpack that was left at the park, there was Monopoly money, other items, and then the bullets had deny, defend, and depose. The bullet shells, 3 of the shells had those words written on them. Deny, depose, and it was deny, defend, and depose, I think. And then they found the cell phone of him in that alley that I was pointing out, and they retrieved the bottle from the Starbucks. So here's what they're going to do, you guys. They're going to get a DNA swab from this guy, and they're going to compare it to any of the DNA samples they already have. That will also prove that that's him. Hey, thanks, Tiny Bits of Magic, Wendy Van Rokel said. Tiny Bits of Magic, and Wendy Van Rokel said, if that's really him, he sure was confident he'd get away clean, but why would it take 5 days to get to PA? Well, he could have been there the whole time. We don't know how long he's been in PA. But here's the thing. Wouldn't he want to go back to where he's from and just sort of blend in somewhere again? Why is he still, walking around with... I mean, maybe he's on a mission. Is there another CEO in near Altoona, Pennsylvania that, that he was maybe going to be targeting? I don't know. They said that the fake ID matches. Who's they, and where did they say that? Who's they when you say that? Oh yeah, TMZ. Let's see. If it doesn't just show up right away, you're gonna have to send me something. Where is it? That one? Oh, that's him just walking back and forth. Is that the one you're talking about, or? Send me a link, all right? To whatever one you're talking about. It's better if you just send me a link to that right there. A person of interest in the murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson has been detained. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ a man in Altoona, Pennsylvania is being held for questioning in connection with last week's shooting in New York City. Our sources tell TMZ local police responded after receiving a tip that the person of interest was seen. So that means the people that saw him thought, wow, he looks like that guy. The man has a similar gun as the one used in the murder, the sources said. The gun used in the shooting has been the subject of speculation, with some law enforcement sources saying a weapon is a veterinary gun commonly used on ranches and farms to put down animals with reduced noise gunshot instead of a pistol fitted with a silencer, as was originally reported. As we know, an unidentified suspect walked up behind... Okay, we know that. As TMZ has reported, the suspect is believed to have traveled to Manhattan on a bus that originated in Atlanta that made several stops. So it doesn't mean he got on the bus in Atlanta. I don't know. You guys, sometimes you'll just have to deal with what's on the screen, you guys. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Because it's like I'm reading it for you. You can just listen. Alright, let me check that. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna... I don't know what this thing is here. I think we just played that, didn't we? That clip right there? We just played that one. He's just kind of walking back and forth. That's prior to the shooting, I think. Man in Pennsylvania is being questioned in connection to UnitedHealthcare CEO murder sources.
CEO murder that happened midtown here in Manhattan.
Yes, he is being questioned right now in Altoona. We're working off a tip. Police stopped a person traveling by bus to Altoona, Pennsylvania. That's about 276 miles west of New York City, and this is after a major national manhunt. Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson live in Central Park with the latest on this breaking story. Kimberly.
Well, David, this big break coming less than 24 hours after Mayor Eric Adams told me the net was closing. A team of
The net was closing. It wasn't closing at all. Somebody randomly saw him in Pennsylvania and called the cops. There was no net closing on anything. Well, that's Eric Adams for you. A man in Pennsylvania is being held for questioning in connection with the shooting death of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Working off a tip, police stopped a person traveling by bus in Altoona. So working off a tip, police stopped a person traveling by bus in Altoona. So that means he was like, maybe he went somewhere and chilled for a day or so, and then now he's still on the bus. So I guess you were right up there that, wow, he's still... So here we are. Now we're hearing that he was traveling by bus, and probably there was a layover, so he went into the McDonald's really quick. God, where was he then for those days? That's crazy. The man, 26, was traveling on a Greyhound bus. I mean, Jesus, you guys. 26. I said 24. Sorry, you guys. I said he was 18 to 24. Was traveling on a Greyhound bus. He walked into a McDonald's where a witness recognized him from the images police had circulated, sources said. Altoona police were called and he was taken to a local police precinct for questioning. The person was found with fake New Jersey driver's license that matches the one NYPD had said the suspect used to check in at the Manhattan hospital. Altoona police also recovered a computer. Wow. So where was that when he's riding around on that bike? And a gun similar. Where would he have a computer? Maybe in that backpack there was a laptop, and then he stuck that under his jacket when he was driving, because you could easily put something underneath there for sure. Where are you getting that information, Nora Fryer? Where are you getting that information? I don't know, man. I'm not going to buy anything somebody just types in. Don't just take anything that somebody typed in there. Just take it with a grain of salt. How do you know that's his name? They're already giving his name out in 5 seconds? Yeah, maybe. Althea. I guess he could have had that. Yeah, we know he has a manifesto. We've gone over it already. I mean, not the manifesto, but we've already... You know what's funny is people show up, they just show up to your thing and they act like you hadn't said anything yet. Altoona police also recovered a computer and a gun similar to the one used in the assassination-style killing. Police recovered writings from the person in custody for questioning. Sources told ABC News police are interested in those writings for what they may reveal about possible motive. Law enforcement is asking Greyhound for its passenger manifest to see what name he gave them. The man will be held on local law enforcement charges likely connected to a false identification. Sources said the NYPD detectives are headed to Altoona. Yeah, because they were circling in on him. Wouldn't they be right on top of him if they were circling in? Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'll check out that name. All right, let's see. I don't know why his name would be out there that fast, though. I mean, yeah, that does kind of look like that could be, you know, I mean, that look right there, you guys. I mean, what does he do, though? What is he? I mean, I'm not going to say that's him, because I don't know, but he does have similar... Well, what was that one distinct... there was something, like, right in there. Oh, hold on. Let's take a look at the... I don't know. I don't know if that... I'm not going to pretend that for 100% that that's him. You know, as TMZ has reported, the suspect is believed to have traveled to Manhattan on a bus. Let's see, what else we got? If you guys see a link or something, I mean, who's saying it's that person? I mean, it definitely could be that person, but I'm not going to say that that's him. It definitely had like similar eyebrows and a nose and so forth, but other than that, I mean, I don't know if the nose looked completely similar. Yeah, I mean, bushy eyebrows, etc. Mm-hmm. But is this a name that people came up with before today, or is this a name that came out from the research? I mean, like I mean, did it come out today, or did it come out from people just looking for somebody that looked like him? That's what I want to know. Police detain man suspected CO killing. Pennsylvania police have detained a man they view as a person of interest. I think he's more than a person of interest with the stuff they have, but who knows, right? And they suspect is the killer of the UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. An NYPD police source confirmed to Newsmax that Altoona, Pennsylvania police on Monday took in for questioning a man located at a McDonald's after a local citizen notified police, and apparently he was on a Greyhound bus and they were just stopped for a little bit. The man was found sitting in the restaurant. He was found to have a gun similar to the type believed to be used in the murder of Thompson. The man is believed to be identified. Oh, there he is, right there. Wow. So they actually have that name right there. So now I think we can look that up. Was found to have the man who is believed to be identified as, I can't believe they put that in there without actually having that information yet, was found to have fake IDs on him. I mean, this is just believed to be. But, you know, it is Newsmax, so that's a news outlet. A LinkedIn profile of a man by the name says Mangyon is a data engineer for TrueCar, but this is unverified information, not confirmed by police. One of the cards matched the name used by the suspected gunman. There you go. To check into the hostel. Boom. There's the, I just told you that a minute ago. If they have that, then they got the guy. That means it is him, you guys. The fact that he has ID, and police did not give out that information on what that ID said on it, and he had that ID, that means they got the right guy. Alright? It doesn't, Gray, it really doesn't. Maybe he was working with somebody else and then they, okay, well, alright, yeah, you can, you know, you can do what you want to do, but they got the right guy here. I mean, if that's true, let me just keep going through this. Investigators have, police dogs and divers had returned Monday to New York Central Park as the dragnet stretched into the sixth day. Investigators have been combing the park since the Wednesday shooting and have searched at least one of the ponds for 3 days. Nothing was going to be in there. Police found a backpack in the park Friday that they say the killer discarded as he fled the crime scene. On Monday, canine units sniffed leaf-covered planters. All right, so let's just go up to let's now, since he's listed in there. I mean, that you got to admit, that guy does look like that. God, he's good looking. Wow, he's just the hottest person on the planet. Are you guys kidding me? Now let's see if he's got something on Facebook. God, he's so cute. Did you see the way he smiled? You know, the uglier he gets, the less people will be supporting him. Let's see if we can find some really shitty pictures of the guy. Yeah, I was just looking him up on Facebook. Didn't see it right away, but all right, let's see. I'm going to change my title to I'm going to say suspect caught, in my opinion. I don't give a shit. Not possibly. Yeah, you know, he looks Mediterranean, right? Italian, whatever, you know. It's good for you. What's he type on Twitter? Oh, did he close that down? Oh, look at that. He works out, you guys. Oh, boy. Here comes the girls. 7 years ago, I gave my senior speech on this topic. Today, I will be talking to you about the future, about topics ranging from conscious artificial intelligence to human immorality. Likely, you'll dismiss all this pretty quickly as interesting, but just science fiction. Yeah, immorality. There you go. So he's talking about immorality. So there you go, everybody. Look at that. There he is right there, you girls. Well, I think he's a sociopath. I'm talking about the ones that said, oh, he's so dreamy. Oh, he's just... Let me click on him and see what else he typed in. Things that he reposted. America AI labs no longer share their algorithm. And look, and AI is what... using AI at UnitedHealthcare is what made the algorithm so... like deny so many claims. So that's sort of interesting. But given the state of their security, America AI labs no longer share their algorithmic advances with the American research community. Here's a great summary of anxious generations in tweets. Thank you. I'm just mad that nobody's calling me cute. Yeah, I'm ugly as hell, man. I never said I was cute. Hey, thanks, Herbert Landscaping. But hey, thanks for the $2. Wow, I have more followers than he does. Well, good. Herbert Landscaping. For all your landscaping needs in upstate New York. I'm also 59 years old, so I mean I probably looked better when I was younger. Vegas. Yeah. I mean I don't consider myself ugly, but I'm not saying, oh my god, I look like that guy on the... Let's see. Cellular architectural is well where solar power was 20 years ago and EV battery was 10 years ago. These are all from this year. How do you select just I want posts. Well, replies might be good. Such a blatant chat GPT. Yeah, I mean, you gotta admit that looks so similar. I mean, it looks just like the picture that we have. You know, I think that was useful. That one that we came up with, the composite one. In the middle there. That one and that one. I think that's pretty damn good. I told you he was going to look just like it. He just has his hair covered. He doesn't have the reddish brown hair that it looked like was sticking out that one time. But when you look at his eyes, you'd think it would be black. I'm dreamy. That's a bit much. But thanks. GitHub is a place for like programmers and I guess just information, but a lot of times you can get source code and so forth off of there. Baltimore High School. So he's from Maryland. Isn't that crazy, you guys? That's what we were just looking at. Right over here. He was making his way back to Maryland. He got on the bus here. I bet you anything. I bet you that he got on the bus in either right there in... that's hilarious. So he probably got on the bus right there or this bus stop here, and now he's making his way back. So he was in Altoona, so maybe he's going to go back around and come back home. But isn't that, I think that's interesting. Because that's the first stops that we were just looking at a minute ago. And where does he say it's from? Baltimore High School. That's what it's called, Baltimore High School. Yeah. Man, you guys. And look at this. Baltimore High School. Does it have a, is that what it's actually called? Gilman. Okay, so Gilman. He's a valedictorian. This guy's a smart person. Alright. There it is right there. So he went to this high school, and that would have been 6 or 8 years ago. Gilman School. And look, probably lives in the same area, and that's where the bus took off from. That's the, you know, isn't that crazy, you guys? That's the bus stop, the first one that we just looked at when we did the reverse travel from New York to Pennsylvania. He literally went to high school. Maryland. We went from New York to Maryland. That was our first look, because that was the reverse look of yesterday. And he's only 5 miles from that. I don't know what you're talking about. Love and light. I just do my own show. I use my own brain thinking through things. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so anyways, he went to, isn't that crazy that he goes to high school just 5 miles away from, you know, ish from where the bus stop is. And that's the one that we actually looked at earlier. That's crazy. And he was the valedictorian. So that's probably why he was able to kind of pull off what he did and get away for a while. But now he's kind of dumb now, though. Oh, actually, let me look him up on. That's a kind of an unusual name, right? So he's 20. Let's see where he lives now. You guys want to do that? Luigi Mangione. I'm gonna guess Maryland. Well, we can probably find him in there. Luigi. And let's see if it says he's 26, and we got the right guy. It's also got his picture on there, so that's him. All right, so this is where his current address is. God, that's so crazy. If I'd woken up in the morning and just been able to do what I wanted to do, my first, one of the places would have been Maryland, that exact spot. So let's put in his address. This is where they have him, 1 Buckley Court. Oh man, now see, it's right there. That might be where he lived. Let's see. Right there. And that's the only address listed for him, but it says to 2020. So I don't know if he lives there currently. That was 2020, and that would make him, he'd been 22, maybe he was still living at home. Put people on timeout that say, what a cutie, all right? Let's see. He still lives with mom. Oh, I don't know if he still does, because the date only goes to, it's right there, look. December 14th to 2020. Jobs. It does list something. It says App Roar Studios, whatever that is. Let me see where that is. It sort of got this Koberger vibe about this guy. Don't you guys? So mean. Yep, they caught him. Yep. We know. That's why we're doing the show, Jason. Let's see. Let me type that in again. Address. Uproar Studios address. It's in Townsend, Maryland. Oh, look at that. It's just right next to... It's a game development company. But apparently there's something in Townsend, Maryland. Like a branch or something. It doesn't list on there, though. So apparently in this little town here, there's it's where he works, and he lives right, or he lived right there. I don't know if he moved out. He would have been 22 in 2020. Of the Unabomber case. I mean, just because of what he's wearing. It is him, Jay. It is, man. It's in the news articles. I mean, unless all the news articles are incorrect with his name in there. At first, I'm not just going to take somebody typing something in a chat. Don't you think that's kind of irresponsible? You know, I showed the picture, but I was like, I don't know if that's him. But then you gave me the address. I mean, not an address. You gave me, like, the web address, or you gave me a link where I went to. Yeah, we know North Star. We know North Star. Thank you very much. We've just went over it for 10 minutes. That's this guy right here. Looks just like that picture. We were just showing it a minute ago. When at ease, gifted a membership to Brandon N. and Meatballs Burner Phone. Said, thanks for ever all you do. You're on it as usual. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I think that's him. And for the ones out there that think he's really cute and everything, there he is right there in some country. Yeah, looks like he's in pretty good shape there. I just want to see what else he has in the tweets here. Modern Japanese urban environment is an evolutionary mismatch for the human animal. The solution to failing birth dates isn't immigration. It's crucial. It's cultural. Encourage natural human interaction, sex, physical fitness, and spirituality. Yeah, I know who he voted for. Netflix, DoorDash. These are things that he retweeted. Everyone thinks the most important mental health treatment are therapy, medication, self-care. I got the thing on the screen again. What about his tweets? Okay, these are phenomenal. Took me years to learn on my own. I've been going to the gym for 10 years. Here are 50 things I wish I had known from the beginning. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this quote from It is no measure of good health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. I used to get bummed in math class when learning theorems. All the low-hanging fruit has been solved before I was born. If I was alive at the time of Pythagoras, I could have easily derived the Pythagorean theorem and etched my place into history. So, look at he. He's just like Koberger. Yeah, that's what a narcissistic person would say, right? Anyways, I'll be back in a second. It's great music, man, you guys. Yeah, I hadn't eaten yet, so I'm kind of dizzy. Got myself an apple, though.
Stupid is being nice. You're an absolute moron.
Oh yeah, so here we go. You guys can listen in. Wow, that was so good. I need an apple. Yep. Just crunching away on the apple. Yeah. The 5th century BC, Pythagorean discovered it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sure you would have figured it out. Being smart makes you more prone to confirmation bias. In retrospect, it shouldn't have been surprising. Confirmation bias is what happens when the little lawyer in your head takes control of your thinking process. And smart people have very smart little lawyers in their head. Because you're one of those ones, right? I believe this book will go down in history as the most important philosophical text of the early 21st century. My book, What's Our Problem?, is now available. The book introduces new framework for thinking about our chaotic political environment with 303 drawings. It's a toolbox for understanding our societies, our group dynamics, and our own minds. What is this Reddit thing? I'm Tim Urban, writer of the blog Wait, But Why? Is he in here? I guess he probably wouldn't use his name. What about after the election? Did he make any? This is December 8th. Holy crap. So he made this post on the 8th. 7 years ago, I gave my high school senior speech on the topic. Today, I will be talking to you about the future, about the topic ranging from conscious artificial intelligence to human immorality. Likely, you'll dismiss all this pretty quickly. I didn't even look at the date earlier. So that was just on yesterday. So how is he doing that? On his computer? That's crazy. Hey, thanks, 655. No, nobody knows why at this point. It sounds like he was just sort of a ideological, I think it was more political motive. That's what I've always said. That's more of the political angle of there was political or some personal thing, and the political sort of, side of it is where I was kind of leaning at because of the message on the bullet. Oh, it was 2022, you're right. So he hasn't commented in 2 years to the day? Sorry, I didn't even look at the year. I thought for sure he must have. Yeah, I think this guy's politically motivated. Thanks for pointing that out, Emily. I didn't even notice that. So he's 26. This is like right out, I think he joined right out of high school. Here, I'm going to try using this other program that I've got. Let me go back to his information here. Should call him on the phone. Alright, so I got to use this other program on the side. And I'll tell you what it comes up with. Yeah, he is. A lot of nut jobs on Reddit, that's for sure. Some good information on there from time to time. I'm putting his phone number into a system. And then I'll try his, there must be an email. Yeah, right there. He's got 2 emails. Try that after this. He had that phone up in the 2023. Yeah, he's a nut job. Yeah. We can't allow, in a civil society, you cannot have people like this roaming around, and being excited for somebody like that just means that you're sort of depraved in your own mind. Sorry if that makes you want to leave, but that's okay. I'm okay with losing people who are supporting a serial killer-like person. I think this guy is a sociopath, and that's kind of what we were saying. I think he's a sociopath. He did this for some ideological reason, and I think that's what we're starting to see right now. Guess what? I don't even have a degree in psychology or anything. It's just sort of, that's just what you can see, just using common sense, logic, and reason. Does he have that one? Okay, so that email, there's nothing really in putting his phone number in. But I'm going to try these emails. These might be a big clue here. Put that in there, see what happens. There's a site that actually has different emails, and it can tell you like where the person's been, etc. Let's see what we got. I think it's an Apple phone that he has. iPhone. Google Maps. Yeah, not much more in there. Just Apple, Waxy, App Roar Studios. That's sort of interesting that that's in there. Said he worked there. All right, let me try a different one. Yeah, it's got a manifesto. Right. Yeah, but it's ideological. Where does it say that, Nora? Can you send me the link? I don't know why you just keep typing it in chat instead of sending a link. Yeah, so his other email is pretty much the same. Yeah, but you know what I called this guy? A Dexter type. Right? That he's a killer, and he thinks he's killing people that he feels are bad and feels justified in doing that. That's what I was referring to him as. Oh yeah? Where is he going to be speaking, Wes Ray? They got the guy. There's no doubt about it. So he does have a Skype account. Has Microsoft, Pandora, etc. Nothing really, incredibly telling in this. Skype, he's just Luigi Mangione. Send a link of press conference. Yeah, if you can send that. Here's an article about him making video game. Ah, that's crazy because that's where he worked. Let's see. Somebody, guy named Carl sent me this. Student Club highlights interdisciplinary art of making video games. Is this him? Oh, there he is. A high school student, Luigi Mangione, interest in video games, didn't stop at playing them. He wanted to create them. In high school, I started playing a lot of independent games and stuff. I think we just nailed who this guy was, man. I'm just telling you. I was just saying, I said that this guy, I don't think it's related to his family member or anything, his demeanor at the crime scene. He was just so calm. I think he's a sociopath that's killing people that, he doesn't agree with in the way they're, I think he was going to continue to kill other people. Let's put it that way. So who knows, man? But this high school student Luigi Mangione, interest in video games, didn't stop at playing them. He wanted to create them. In high school, I started playing a lot of independent games and stuff like that, but I wanted to make them. Here, let's let me play this. I'll just play the article.
Student Club highlights interdisciplinary art of making.
Let's have a guy named George.
Making video games. Undergraduate students Luigi Mangione and Josh Nadell lead a group of 60 students who gather and collaborate weekly to. In my freshman and sophomore years of high school, I learned on my own how to program. And that's why I'm a computer science major now. That's how I got into it. I just really wanted to make games. While touring universities as a high school senior, he noticed several had a student-run video game development club. Penn, he realized, did not. So, true to form, he decided to make one. After posting in a class of 2020 Facebook group in summer 2016, inquiring about other students' interest in developing games, he received an overwhelming response and, alongside Josh Nadell, decided to book a room at Van Pelt Dietrich Library Center to brainstorm ideas. 40 people showed up. That was the beginning of Upgrade, he says. It wasn't planned at all, now in its second full year. The University of Pennsylvania Game Research and Development Environment Upgrade consists of about 60 students who show up to a room in Huntsman Hall on Saturdays at 2 p.m. For 2 hours, they work in groups developing their own video games. Currently, there are 6 teams working on games, all with different concepts and levels of scale, some designed with 2D pixel art, others with expansive 3D environments. Teams typically work using the Unreal, Java, or Unity engines, largely free tools that give them the means for development that, only a short few years ago, would have been inaccessible to students and the many independent developers churning out popular titles today. These upgrade teams funnel into the larger group by delivering short presentations to the larger group about once per month for feedback. Teams, significantly, tend to consist of people from a variety of backgrounds. A lot of people ask us, "I don't code, can I be part of game development?" And we're like, "Yes, please, we have a lot of programmers and need people who aren't," Mangione says. It's cool because if you think about game development, you have a team of 10, maybe with 4 programmers, 2 designers, 3 artists, a musician, and a writer, all from different majors and parts of the school who can be interested. It's not just computer science engineers. One game project, Animancer, is an ambitious semi-open world role-playing game that Nadell, a junior digital media design major from Chappaqua, NY, and his team of 16 started in October 2017. It's a fantasy adventure game that is inspired by his illustrations. I draw often, creating sketches of fantasy characters and environments. I noticed a trend of African themes and stylistic elements, such as masks and elaborate painted patterns, in my work, and I thought it would be cool to set a fantasy world in a fictionalized ancient Africa, he explains. A lot of popular fantasy like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings are inspired by medieval Europe or set in feudal Asia, but I wanted to try a different setting. I saw a lot of potential in it. The concept for the gameplay was to create a main character who could transform into different supernatural beasts inspired by animals of the continent. Think a wildebeest, gorilla, or lion. The game, he says, is largely a recreational effort and educational experience for the team, particularly as a means to learn to work collaboratively. Sophomore Caleb Chen from Frederick MD and his team are working on a SSC.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen, targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan. The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized by an employee who then called local police. Responding officers questioned the suspect, who was acting suspiciously and was carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well as a U.S. passport. Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person, as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder. They also recovered clothing, including a mask consistent with those worn by our wanted individual. Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the ID our suspect used to check into his New York City hostel before the shooting incident. Additionally, officers recovered a handwritten document that speaks to both his motivation and mindset. NYPD detectives are en route to Pennsylvania as we seek to interview the subject further. This apprehension is thanks to the tireless work of the greatest detectives in the world, and of course, the strong relationships we have with our local law enforcement partners. On every level, local, state, and federal, we all serve the same public safety mission. And this case, which captured the attention of an entire nation, is another example of how connected we are and how important it is to work together, share information, and pursue every lead. For just over 5 days, our NYPD investigators combed through thousands of hours of video, followed up on hundreds of tips, and processed every bit of forensic evidence, DNA, fingerprints, IP addresses, and so much more to tighten the net. We deployed drones, canine units, and scuba divers. We leveraged the domain awareness system, Argus cameras, and conducted aviation canvasses. And our detectives also went door to door, interviewing potential witnesses and doing the good old-fashioned police work that our investigators are famous for. This combination of old-school detective work and new age technology is what led to this result today. And we must also acknowledge the instrumental role the media and the public played in this case. The images that we shared with the public were spread far and wide, and the tips we received led to the recovery of crucial evidence. We should never underestimate the power of the public to be our eyes and our ears in these investigations. This is the third time in 3 weeks that a member of the public has seen something and said something and done something that led to a high-profile arrest. The triple stabbing homicide in Manhattan, the gunpoint robberies in Queens during which an NYPD officer was shot, and now this. Now, the case will continue through the criminal justice process. And while we are proud of today's accomplishment, we must, of course, remember that a family is in mourning. I want to again extend my sympathies to Brian's family, his co-workers, and all who knew him. Finally, I want to thank the women and men of the NYPD, especially our Detective Bureau personnel, with a strong assist from our intelligence analysts. We also thank the SAC of the FBI's Criminal Investigative Division, Leslie Rodriguez-Bekshies. And I want to commend the staff of the Manhattan DA's office, and especially DA Alvin Bragg. He has been working with us 24/7 on this case, and I'm incredibly grateful for his partnership. I'll now pass it along
Bragg
to
is
our
a
great
joke.
Chief of Detectives,
Give me a break.
Joe Kenny, who will provide additional information. Chief.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good afternoon. As the Commissioner stated earlier, a male was taken into custody today in Altoona, Pennsylvania this morning. He has been identified as Luigi Nicholas Mangione. He's a male, 26 years old. He was born and raised in Maryland. We know he has ties to San Francisco, California, and his last known address was Honolulu, Hawaii. He has no prior arrest history in New York. Members of the NYPD Detective Bureau are currently traveling to Pennsylvania with members of the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to interview this subject. This case was brought to a successful conclusion based on the coordinated effort between numerous NYPD units, including the Intelligence and Counterterrorism Bureau, our federal partners at the FBI, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, and of course, members of the Altoona Police Department in Pennsylvania. On Thursday, one day after this crime was committed, the NYPD released a photo of the shooter in this case. This picture was obtained by the NYPD during one of their extensive video canvasses. We took that photograph and we asked for the public's help in identifying this subject, and the public responded. Hundreds of tips began to pour into our hotline. Each tip was investigated thoroughly, and we began to release additional photographs as they came into our possession. The NYPD provided these photos to numerous media outlets. Local, national, and international outlets released the photo via television, print, social media, and online content. Luckily, a citizen in Pennsylvania recognized our subject and called local law enforcement. Members of the Altoona Police Department responded to the call, and based on their investigation, they notified the NYPD. This investigation is still active and ongoing. Thank you very much.
And then we'll... Mark?
I had a couple questions about the document that he was found in possession with. Can you go a little bit more in depth about those motivations that you mentioned? Was that CEO specifically named in that document? Was there anything more about him wanting to go after others? And also in that document, was there any indication that explains us how the level of detail that he went into killing him? Like, is there anything?
Like I said, that document is currently in the possession of the Altoona Police Department as part of their investigation. But just from briefly speaking with them, we don't think that there's any specific threats to other people mentioned in that document. But it does seem that he has some ill will toward corporate America.
Over here, sir.
NJ?
Chief, was the suspect wearing a mask at the time he was spotted in the McDonald's? And also, criminal cases often have a linchpin. Can you point to a single linchpin that helped crack this case?
There's numerous linchpins in this case, in the fact that we've recovered an enormous amount of forensic evidence, an enormous amount of video, and once again, with your help and the public's help. So I really couldn't put it on one thing, but if I had to, it would be the release of that photograph from the media.
Dean? You said he had a passport on him. Do you believe he was trying to flee the country? And also, are you still looking for any evidence in Central Park in regards to the bike?
We had divers in the water yesterday. That came up negative results. The passport, we don't believe that he was planning on doing any traveling. At this time, we don't think at this point in our investigation, we don't think he was trying to flee the country.
The person at the McDonald's, were they buying food? What were they doing at that exact moment?
He was an employee at the McDonald's.
Right. But what was the suspect doing?
He was sitting there eating.
Will the suspect be brought back to New York and charged here, and when?
We're going to have to work that out with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office in Altoona, Pennsylvania. He's going to be facing gun charges there, and at some point we'll work out through extradition to bring him back to New York to face charges here, working with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
Anita from the New York Post. I was just hoping to get more details on the capture itself. Did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to cops? And we've also reported that he published online anti-healthcare industry rantings. Can you share with us some of the services that he posted on?
We're still working through his social media. We're going to do a complete scrub of that. Preliminarily, like I said, he seems that he has some ill will toward corporate America, but that will all come out as part of our investigation. We're not done here. We're still going to be putting this together. We're still going to be working very hard to bring this to a successful conclusion.
And the capture itself, did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to police?
I don't have that information.
Sorry, can you elaborate on how he got there, the path he took from Port Authority and on the George Washington Bridge to Altoona, PA?
Same thing. This just happened this morning. We'll be working, backtracking his steps from New York to Altoona, Pennsylvania.
I was going to ask if we knew anything, if he took a bus to Philadelphia first and then somehow got to Altoona. But
We're still working on that. We're still working through that.
Britain. Is there any indication that anybody else was helping him from the inside, as far as tracking the CEO's movements?
Once again, we're still working this investigation very hard. It's not at its conclusion yet. That could come out during our investigation, but as of right now, we have no indication that that took place.
Chief, did he have any weapons or anything like that with him when he was arrested?
He was in possession of a ghost gun that had the capability of firing a 9mm round and a suppressor.
Can you get into a little bit about the technical aspects of the investigation? I know you deployed an unprecedented amount of technology. You also activated the Sentry program through Intel. Can you talk about how that is going to play into actually building the case as far as cell phone and all of the other technical aspects of what you've done?
I told you he looked just like that
case,
picture.
it really came down to technology was the use of drones in Central Park, and really comes down to the video canvas that we did. We used every source of video that we could collect, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours from hundreds of sources, and that helped bring this to where we are right now.
The gun is it believed to be the gun he used in the shooting? And there was some talk that it was a veterinarian type gun. Is that accurate?
No, as of right now, the information we're getting from Altoona is that the gun appears to be a ghost gun. May have been made on a 3D printer. The capability of firing a 9mm round, obviously that will come out during our ballistics testing.
See, I told you it didn't look like that gun.
Do you have any indication?
What didn't I get right?
This handwritten, is it a handwritten manifesto that you found on the suspect? And then also whether or not he put it online at all?
Don't know if it's online. As of right now, it's a handwritten 3-page document.
Chief, does he have ties to that area, and
it's a gun that can't be traced
by name before his arrest?
We believe he may have attended college in Pennsylvania, but like I said earlier, he has ties to Maryland and California and Hawaii.
And you knew him by name before today. Was his name on your radar?
Excuse me?
Was his name on your radar? Was he someone who you had been looking into before his arrest?
No, we did not have his name prior to today.
Brent, sorry. Does he have any prior arrests? I know there were none for New York City, but is there any prior arrests anywhere else in the country?
We have not come across any arrests in the country.
Chief, hi, how are you?
On two things. On the ghost gun, is it something you're going to be looking into to see if he made it himself and can he make that himself, or would he have to buy the gun the way it was?
No, once again, that'll be part of our investigation as we follow up.
I mean, obviously he's going to face murder charges, but is there any chance that he could face any other charges because he was targeting the CEO and because of his writings and other things that we're now finding on him? Potentially federal charges or
that determination will be made by Alvin Bragg.
Yes, what connections does he have in Pennsylvania that you know of, and are they in Altoona specifically?
We believe he attended college in Pennsylvania.
Does he know anybody in Pennsylvania?
Wouldn't be able to tell you that.
All right, we're going to take one more question on shooting, Marla, and then we're going to go.
You talk about the manifesto having said things against corporations, but specifically UnitedHealthcare, and do you believe that Mangione acted alone?
And as far as the manifesto, like I said, I don't have the complete details of that. It's in the possession of the Altoona Police Department.
We're going to shift to off
Yep. Good job, Chief. Commissioner, Chief Manager.
What's he doing there? That was part of the video, sorry. I have it boosted up 22 decibels, which is ridiculous.
Again, great job by the New York City Police Department. Certain aspects of this investigation and the crime itself is something that we have been zeroing in on. Ghost guns. We have really talked about this since the beginning of the administration. They could be made on a 3D printer, and they are extremely dangerous, and we must do more on the federal level to clamp down on the availability of ghost guns. And it just really leads into just the top headers of what we did last week and what we're doing this week. This week is all about public safety. Public safety, I've stated over and over again, is a prerequisite to our prosperity, and we're going to continue to make this city a safe city. It's the safest big city in
All right, now I'm back to normal audio levels. Wow, that thing was so low. It was I don't know if you guys are aware, but like negative 12 decibels is the sort of standard. Like right now, we're at negative 12 right there. That's kind of like the standard. But this thing was at minus 40 when it started off, so I had to boost it up 22 decibels or so just for you to. Maybe it was minus 30 something. I don't remember, but I had to boost that up for you. That was crazy. Let's see, NYPD press conference. Yeah, so I guess he had ties to Hawaii also. And I think he was heading back to Maryland. And see, so when we were covering this case, we covered it like, rationally. A lot of people have left right now because they want to go keep hearing about conspiracies that didn't fit their tunnel vision. So what we did on this channel was we just go over the case, and it seemed like he was a person that was more political, ideological motivated, and he's like a sociopathic person who might even try to kill other people, leaders. And yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like every single thing that they said was something that we talked about and seemed like it was a possibility. Seems like he wanted to be caught, get his 15 minutes of fame. Thanks, Chantel, I mean. Thank you for the amazing cover. Hey, thank you. Yeah, and we do the same thing in every case that we do. We just cover it using the factual information of the case, and then we're likely to come up with something that is going to be close to what happened. I kind of almost want to hear that again. Do you guys want to listen to that again? Let me see if I can, because we didn't hear the first part of it. Oh, his mom's a doctor. Let's see, hold on. Maria Santa Mangione. Now that's probably him right there, right? When he was younger. Yeah, 2014. There he is. Raising a sociopath all those years. Crazy. It's just Bella Gray. You've done it again. Great work on breaking the case down in a succinct manner without the drama. Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that weird that that's rare? You know, like that's rare on social media to actually cover a case using logic and reason. You know? It's just that's more, but what I'll tell you what sells is coming up with conspiracy theories. Those are the channels that get 5, 6, 7,000 people watching. Mine, during this, I've got like 1,200 before, which is, you know, it's okay. What was this that we were just looking at? Oh yeah, we were just going to go look at the press conference again. Not sure what happened just now, but I want to listen to it again. NYPD, thanks Mel for that information. NYPD press conference. Apparently his mom's a doctor. Probably a doctor in psychology, I'd imagine. Okay, let me try this one.
No matter where he was at the time. And so this is a strong person of interest. The police commissioner and chief of detectives will go over where we are right now in the investigation. He matches the description.
That's minus 32.
Of the identification we've been looking for. He's also in possession of several items that we believe will connect him to this incident. How did we do it? Good old-fashioned police work. The chief of detectives and the police commissioner made the decision to release as much of a photo that we had at the time. We sent it across the country, and someone, a McDonald's employee, did something we ask every American to do. If you see something, say something, but most importantly, do something. And they did. And because of that, we believe we have a strong person of interest to deal with this case. I want to now turn it over to the Police Commissioner of the City of New York, Commissioner Tisch.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, last Wednesday.
He's not just a person of interest, he is the killer.
The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized by an employee who then called local police. Responding officers questioned the suspect, who was acting suspiciously and was carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well as a U.S. passport. Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person, as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder. They also recovered clothing, including a mask consistent with those worn by our wanted individual. Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the ID our suspect used to check into his New York City hostel before the shooting incident. Additionally, officers recovered a handwritten document that speaks to both his motivation and mindset. NYPD detectives are en route to Pennsylvania as we seek to interview the subject further. This apprehension is thanks to the tireless work of the greatest detectives in the world, right? And of course, the strong relationships we have with our local law enforcement partners on every level, local, state, and federal. We all serve the same public safety mission. And this case, which captured the attention of an entire nation, is another example of how connected we are and how important it is to work together, share information, and pursue every lead. For just over 5 days, our NYPD investigators combed through thousands of hours of video, followed up on hundreds of tips, and processed every bit of forensic evidence, DNA, fingerprints, IP addresses, and so much more to tighten the net. We deployed drones, canine units, and scuba divers. We leveraged the domain awareness system, Argus cameras, and conducted aviation canvasses. And our detectives also went door to door, interviewing potential witnesses and doing the good old-fashioned police work that our investigators are famous for. This combination of old school detective work and new age technology is what led to this result today. And we must also acknowledge the instrumental role the media and the public played in this case.
Yeah.
The images that we shared with the public were spread far and wide, and the tips we received led to the recovery of crucial evidence. We should never underestimate the power of the public to be our eyes and our ears in these investigations. This is the third time in 3 weeks that a member of the public has seen something and said something and done something that led to a high-profile arrest. The triple stabbing homicide in Manhattan, the gunpoint robberies in Queens during which an NYPD officer was shot, and now this. Now, the case will continue through the criminal justice process, and while we are proud of today's accomplishment, we must, of course, remember that a family is in mourning. I want to again extend my sympathies to Brian's family, his co-workers, and all who knew him. Finally, I want to thank the women and men of the NYPD, especially our Detective Bureau personnel, with a strong assist from our intelligence.
Can I get a boom?
We also thank the SAC of the FBI's Criminal Investigative Division, Leslie Rodriguez-Bekshies. And I want to commend the staff of the Manhattan DA's office, and especially DA Alvin Bragg. He has been working with us 24/7.
Alvin Bragg's a joke.
And I'm incredibly grateful for his partnership.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'll now pass it along to our great Chief of Detectives, Joe Kenny, who will provide additional information. Chief.
Now, we've already played. This is
Thank
the second
Commissioner.
time we've played it,
Good
Cheryl.
afternoon. As the Commissioner stated earlier, a male was taken into custody today in Altoona, Pennsylvania this morning. He has been identified as Luigi Nicholas Mangione. He's a male, 26 years old. He was born and raised in Maryland. We know he has ties to San Francisco, California, and his last known address was Honolulu, Hawaii. He has no prior arrest history in New York. Members of the NYPD Detective Bureau are currently traveling to Pennsylvania with members of the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to interview this subject.
Wow, his last known as Hawaii.
This case was brought to a successful conclusion based on the coordinated effort between numerous NYPD units, including the Intelligence and Counterterrorism Bureau, our federal partners at the FBI, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, and of course, members of the Altoona Police Department in Pennsylvania. On Thursday, one day after this crime was committed, the NYPD released a photo of the shooter in this case. This picture was obtained by the NYPD during one of their extensive video canvasses. We took that photograph and we asked for the public's help in identifying this subject, and the public responded. Hundreds of tips began to pour into our hotline. Each tip was investigated.
I think my
thoroughly,
photograph is the
and
one
we
that...
began to release additional photographs as they came into our possession. The NYPD provided these photos to numerous media outlets.
I'm just
Local,
kidding.
national, and international
He's probably still
outlets
had a mask
released the
on.
photo via television, print, social media, and online content. Luckily, a citizen in Pennsylvania recognized our subject and called local law enforcement. Members of the Altoona Police Department responded to the call, and based on their investigation, they notified.
By the way, look at the smile here. It's the same thing. This smile and that smile are the exact same smile. Just a different angle. Look at that. That's crazy. The cheekbone. You know, just... it's wild.
The NYPD. This investigation is still active and ongoing. Thank you very much.
I had a couple of questions about
Yeah, we
the
just said that,
document
sure.
that he was found in possession with. Can you go a little bit more in depth about those motivations that you mentioned? Was that CEO specifically named in that document? Was there anything more about him wanting to go after others? And also in that document, was there any indication that explains us how the level of detail that he went into killing him? Like, is there anything?
Like I said, that document is currently in the possession of the Altoona Police Department as part of their investigation.
I don't
But
look
just
at
from briefly
LinkedIn,
speaking with
Emmy.
them, we don't think that there's any specific threats to other people mentioned in that document.
About him wanting to go after others. And also in that document, was there any indication that explains us how the level of detail that he went into killing him? Like, is there anything?
Like I said, that document is currently in the possession of the Altoona Police Department as part of their investigation. But just from briefly speaking with them, we don't think that there's any specific threats to other people mentioned in that document. But it does seem that he has some ill will toward corporate America.
Over here, sir.
NJ?
Chief, was the suspect wearing a mask at the time he was spotted in McDonald's? And also, criminal cases often have a linchpin. Can you point to a single linchpin that helped crack this case?
There's numerous linchpins in this case, in the fact that we've recovered an enormous amount of forensic evidence, an enormous amount of video, and once again, with your help and the public's help. So I really couldn't put it on one thing, but if I had to, it would be the release of that photograph from the media.
You said he had a passport on him. Do you believe he was trying to flee the country? And also, are you still looking for any evidence in Central Park in regards to the bike?
We had divers in the water yesterday that came up negative results. The passport, we don't believe that he was planning on doing any traveling at this time. We don't think at this point in our investigation, we don't think he was trying to flee the country.
The person at the McDonald's, were they buying food? What were they doing at that exact moment?
He was an employee at the McDonald's.
Right. But what was the suspect doing?
He was sitting there eating.
Will the suspect be brought back to New York and charged here, and when?
We're going to have to work that out with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office in Altoona, Pennsylvania. He's going to be facing gun charges there, and at some point we'll work out through extradition to bring him back to New York to face charges here, working with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
Anita from the New York Post. I was just hoping to get more details on the capture itself. Did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to cops? And we've also reported that he published online anti-health care industry rantings. Can you share with us some of the services that he posted on?
We're still working through his social media. We're going to do a complete scrub of that. Preliminarily, like I said, he seems that he has some ill will toward corporate America, but that will all come out as part of our investigation. We're not done here. We're still going to be putting this together. We're still going to be working very hard to bring this to a successful conclusion.
And the capture itself, did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to
reward.
police?
I don't have that information.
Sorry.
Can you share with us some of the services that he posted on?
We're still working through his social media. We're going to do a complete scrub of that. Preliminarily, like I said, he seems that he has some ill will toward corporate America, but that will all come out as part of our investigation. We're not done here. We're still going to be putting this together. We're still going to be working very hard to bring this to a successful conclusion.
And the capture itself, did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to police?
I don't have that information.
Sorry, can you elaborate on how he got there, the path he took from Port Authority and on the George Washington Bridge to Altoona, PA?
Same thing. This just happened this morning. We'll be working, backtracking his steps from New York to Altoona, Pennsylvania.
I was going to ask if we knew anything, if he took a bus to Philadelphia first and then somehow got to Altoona. But
We're still working on that. We're still working through that.
Is there any indication that anybody else was helping him from the inside, as far as tracking the CEO's movements?
Once again, we're still working this investigation very hard. It's not at its conclusion yet. That could come out during our investigation, but as of right now, we have no indication that took place.
Chief, did he have any weapons or anything like that with him when he was arrested?
He was in possession of a ghost gun that had the capability of firing a 9mm round and a suppressor.
Can you get into a little bit about the technical aspects of the investigation? I know you deployed an unprecedented amount of technology. You also activated the Sentry program through Intel. Can you talk about how that is going to play into actually building the case as far as cell phone and all of the other technical aspects of what you've done?
In this case, it really came down to technology was the use of drones in Central Park, and really comes down to the video canvas that we did. We used every source of video that we could collect, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours from hundreds of sources, and that helped bring this to where we are right now.
The gun is it believed to be the gun he used in the shooting? And there was some talk that it was a veterinarian type gun. Is that accurate?
No, as of right now, the information we're getting from Altoona is that the gun appears to be a ghost gun, may have been made on a 3D printer, the capability of firing a 9mm round. Obviously, that will come out during our ballistics testing.
Oliver?
Yeah, Oliver Barnes from the Financial Times. Do you have any indication like how long this handwritten, is it a handwritten manifesto that you found on the suspect? And then also whether or not he put it online at all?
Don't know if it's online. As of right now, it's a handwritten 3-page document.
Chief, does he have ties to that area, and was he someone who you knew by name before his arrest?
We believe he may have attended college in Pennsylvania, but like I said earlier, he has ties to Maryland and California and Hawaii.
And you knew him by name before today? Was his name on your radar?
Excuse me?
Was his name on your radar? Was he someone who you had been looking into before his arrest?
No, we did not have his name prior to today.
See?
Brent,
We didn't know
so
who he was.
does he have any prior arrests? I know there were none for New York City, but is there any prior arrests anywhere else?
Yeah, the part about they were closing in the circle on him is completely bogus. They didn't know where he was or anything. They may have been able to identify him using genealogy, but they didn't have a clue who he was.
We have not come across any arrests in the country.
Chief, hi, how are you? On two things. On the ghost gun, is it something you're going to be looking into to see if he made it himself and can he make that himself, or would he have to buy the gun the way it was?
No, once again, that'll be part of our investigation as we follow up.
I mean, obviously he's going to face murder charges, but is there any chance that he could face any other charges because he was targeting the CEO and because of his writings and other things that we're now finding on him? Federal charges or
that determination will be made by Alvin Bragg.
Yes, what connections does he have in Pennsylvania that you know of? And are they in Altoona specifically?
We believe he attended college in Pennsylvania.
Does he know anybody in Pennsylvania?
Wouldn't be able to tell you that.
All right, we're going to take one more question on the shooting, Marla, and then we're going to go.
Thank you,
You
Stephen.
talk about the manifesto having said things against corporations, but specifically UnitedHealthcare, and do you believe that Mangione acted alone?
Good job, Chief. Commissioner, Chief Magi.
All right, well, there you go. Let me fix the audio again. There we go. So, man, amazing. Look at those pictures up there. He looks like the right guy in all of them. But don't you think, like, this one, the one that we made the other night, the composite, that looks like him. That's what he looks like. Even, the smile, the eyes, and everything. It would have been cool if the police had done something like that and put it out there. He didn't answer the question if he was wearing a mask at the time. But anyways, I have to say that I'm pleased with how we, covered the case, and now they've caught him, and it's amazing. This guy's an absolute wacko. Well, that picture is just that image is from down below. I can't really tell. Well, I guess if it was up higher, it would make his nose lower. If he looks like it's been altered a little bit. That picture on the left, not altered in terms of just meaning it's not a straight-on shot of his face, the one on the left. So it's hard to tell if he has the low ear problem. Yeah, so this guy isn't a hero, you guys. He's a nut job. He's a serial killer in the making. I think he was going to start killing, like I said, other people out there, other leaders of other organizations that he deemed to be bad. I think that's what he was going to do. Now, it could be that he was going to just do the healthcare industry. I don't know, but That sounds like corporate America he didn't like. So the tech needed to 3D print a firearm capable of 9mm is just crazy. Yeah, well, a ghost gun doesn't have to be a 3D printed gun. It can also be one that it's not traceable, meaning like the word ghost gun existed before 3D printing. It's like one that doesn't have a serial number on it, doesn't have any identifiable parts, so it's a gun that cannot be traced to, back to an individual. And really, yeah, it just means no serial number. So doesn't need to be a 3D printed. So let's see. Right. Yeah, you gotta wonder what his parents were teaching him. He does live in Maryland. What's wrong with living in Maryland, Gray? Nothing. Nothing at all. It's like living in Oregon now. Portland. Whew. Yikes. That's where I live. Yeah, we looked at his Twitter. I was reading through. But his last post I thought was actually 2 days ago, but yesterday, but turns out it was 2 years ago in December. I don't understand how people think they can get away with the murder like this. Well, I think what's even worse is that people wanted him to get away and had this crazy ideology. Is he as good looking now, though, in that picture as you guys envisioned him, and his cute little dimple smile? Is he as cute now? On the left there? He sure is. He sure is, Gary. Gary, he sure is. These parasites had it coming, and I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done. A police official who has seen the document told CNN. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I mean, you can see the boogers up his nose in that picture there, eh? I mean, he walks up to you and his booger greets you. Hi, my name is Luigi. Check out my boogers, if you will. Like you're shaking hands with his nose snot, for God's sakes. But yeah, let's go on dates with him because he looked so cute in that smile he had in the hostel. He needs eyebrow wax. Where's Zozo when you need her? Come on, Zozo, get in here, man. This is your time to shine right here. Yep, he wasn't missing to anyone, family or friends. But hey, guys, if you want to help support the channel, that'd be great. We got the little buy me a coffee thing that's completely covered up in the upper left-hand corner, or you could help put a comment in a super chat or something, or buy some channel members for people who don't have channel memberships. But make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want a channel that actually works through cases in a way that is very likely to come up with a reasonable theory. We've got 30,000 followers on X now, just that little short amount of time. What a joke. Yeah, he ain't going to be tweeting soon. You don't need to be... he hadn't tweeted for 2 years. He's probably on some Reddit sub-thread somewhere out there commenting with all his brethren. The wackos that exist on Reddit. I mean, Reddit does have good information too, like if people are going over true crime cases and things like that, but there's also these really sick communities out there. Yeah, well, I hope so, Jojo. That'd be great. Well, I guess not. All right, guys, I'm going to take off, and I appreciate the, let's see, what do we got here? at The Real Sky Lazantana, then Barb, Susie Clue, Happy Genie. And that was on Buy Me a Coffee. And then thank you on here. So we'll probably have to go over it later. I'm sure there'll be more information that comes out. We can put it all back together again. Thanks to Miss Marple became a new member. Ashley Camper, then Julie gifted a membership, then Toxic Tink, Little Dumbass Boy, that's his actual name, I'm not calling him that. Camden Edwards gifted a membership, K Me, Is It Amy Darcy Marie, or It Is Amy Darcy Marie, then Marie Pintler, Ashley Camper, Rad Story, Tiny Bits of Magic, Wendy Van Rokel, Edith Puthie, Herbert Landscaping. Then we also have Meatballs, Burner Phone, then Lynette Eades, who gifted a membership. See, I didn't forget it. 655, then Maury A, then Birdie 284, Great Breaking Coverage Gray, then Maury A, then Alley Cake, then Elaney K, then Bama Girl, then Chantel. Thank you for the amazing coverage. No problem. And then it's just Bella Gray, you've done it again. Great work on breaking the case down in a succinct manner without the drama. And then CR and Sybil Bergeron. Right, so I would imagine, since I don't watch the other YouTubers who do it, but I could imagine that their take was, let's see, that this guy's a hero of some sort. He's out there just getting back at the man, and oh man, he's great. And they're kind of looking out for him. Oh, this guy is way smarter than the cops, and they're just talking about how great he is, and just awesome, and not really trying to work through it, because that's where the popular vibe is, right? Where all the people, they want to hear that kind of stuff. That's what my prediction would be. I just do my own thoughts and my own shows. That's why I don't even like people to send me emails with their long drawn out theories. I won't even read them, because I don't want to have their thoughts influence what I'm seeing. Now in the chat, when people throw out comments, I might trigger something in my mind like, oh yeah, wow, what about this? And sometimes in the chat is something that somebody throws out that's like, sounds like something that is a better angle to go with. That's how it works. But like, I think it's weird when other creators on YouTube, whatever, I hate that term, by the way, watch other YouTubers, and then they do a show spouting out almost every single thing that the other person said, but don't give that person credit. So I'd rather just avoid that whole issue. But anyways, great news. Luigi Mangione has been arrested. He's the guy in the upper center of the screen. The picture to the left of that is the composite that I made on the show 2 nights ago, where we took the smiling image that he did at the hostel, and then they had it released an image of him in a taxi cab, getting into one, or he was in the taxi cab, and then I reversed the eyes because he had his head turned the opposite direction, and then I put it on there, and you can see that really does look like him. Like if his family had seen the picture on the left, they would have known that that was him. He just doesn't have the hair on there. All right. Anyways, thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for those who supported the channel. I appreciate it. If you get that like button, subscribe button, that'd be great. And I guess we'll see you guys later. So, as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a... Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. Hey, is that a trigger bunny? And during this whole time, I have not seen one person...
That is a trigger bunny. It's a trigger bunny, honey. It ain't funny. He ain't no dummy. He's a trigger bunny, honey.
Gonna get ya.
Get me in my tummy.
If you try and play me like an old
It's a trigger bunny.
crime sector.
That is my name.
Nectar.
That's
Professor
like
Grant
me,
is
is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector.
Freak connector.
And I'm always gonna be a pop protector. Fool deflector. Interceptor. And I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector.
On his pector, with all respect, ya. Just remember, I've a temple fucking check ya.
I have no agenda.
I'm no pretender.
pretender.
And I'll serve it to you straight
without the blender.
And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. All right, everybody. Thank you for being
Yeah, so
here.
I'll just get right back to work. All right.
We will
everybody?
see you later this evening. We'll probably do an update and get it all squared away by then. All right. Who knows? This might go into tomorrow with new information, but then we'll have to get moving on to something else at some point, right? I'm sure we'll still keep doing updates when there's updates, but we'll do it tonight. I'm sure tomorrow there'll even be more information, and then after that it'll kind of die down, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. But anyways, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys later. And until next time, be safe out there.